Hi, I'm Dreena Whitfield, founder and CEO of WhitPR, and this is a TalkBack for how I got here. So many of you have asked, like, well, Dreena, what about your story? What about your story? So I'm sharing a little bit of nuggets about my journey as an entrepreneur. So how do I see the role of diversity as it relates to agencies, but also like the media that they produce? I think there's still a lot of work to be done. So here's the thing, right? And I was just talking about this to my team earlier that yes, we're a Black agency. Yes, a lot of clients that we work with are Black, but we can do so much more. And so I think when I'm looking at the industry and I hear of these larger firms like building these whole multicultural arms, essentially take work away from the smaller agencies like myself. I think it's just with anything with Black culture, right? Like it always seems cool, right? Like people love it. They want to be attached to it, be a part of it. But I also think in terms of the industry, folks are seeing dollars attached to it, right? And opportunity to maximize on their name as like having like skin in the game and being these large agencies where they can go to folks that may work with us traditionally and say, I have this big agency, I can also do this, and don't necessarily rely on the Black agencies. I see like a lot of agencies bringing in and giving opportunities to, people of color, which is amazing. Do it. But I also know from folks that have been in-house at some of these agencies that they're not approaching the work with authenticity and care. Like what we do here, I'm not trying to like put it like us versus them, but like, yeah, we're a Black agency. We care about Black shit. We're ran by Black women, but we can do so much more and we can help position our clients in these media outlets and opportunities that go so much further beyond the multicultural space. In what ways does WhitPR engage the Black community and how do we integrate that into our strategy? I've been blessed. I want to say that like 99.75 of our business that has come to WhitPR has been inbound. So we're really blessed and fortunate of that. Like every opportunity has kind of been word of mouth or has just been like, I've seen the work that y'all have done as an agency, championing the Black community, championing Black founders, championing issues, or even just amplifying issues that we should really care about as a community, that I want to work with you. However, I know like that can only last to a certain point, right? And so initially when I started my business, I really wanted to I didn't like being pigeonholed as a Black agency because I was like, I can do so much more. Like my mother taught me growing up, like just because you're the only Black in your class, like that does not define you. And so I took the same approach when I was building WhitPR initially. However, just over the years and like really identifying what spaces I wanted us to work in and specialize in here at WhitPR, it really went back to the Black community. It really went back to making sure our folks know about these dope entrepreneurs that have amazing products, or these organizations that are pushing to make sure you know about the issues that you should care about on a day-to-day. Or it was around like new opportunities for specifically our community. And it just, ultimately, that's just where we landed and where we've been able to shine and thrive. However, as I think about just, again, how there's like this cool factor with like our culture, and folks, like I said, have really been laser focused on, like, I know there's dollars attached to engaging those communities. I know that if I wanted to continue to grow, scale the business, or really truly compete with some of these larger agencies, I have to lean into that sweet spot that makes us great here at WhitPR. And so through my strategy in terms of like business development, it's really been going to these larger corporations or organizations that I've watched create these campaigns that may have landed successfully or not successfully on our community, and really just said, hey, here's this agency you may or may not know about. Here's what we do. Here's some of our wins, and I would love to find opportunities to collaborate and help support your work. What advice would I give entrepreneurs, specifically women of color, as they launch their business? I think when you're building a business, especially when you're you're really like the underdog in your industry, you always just keep going, right? Like, so you don't really get to acknowledge the wins, no matter how big or small, right? I remember when I started, and just to get somebody to respond back to a pitch would like make my freaking day, like my week even, because it's like I scoured the internet to find their contact, I wrote this amazing pitch, and oh my God, they responded and they want to interview my client. And that would just be everything to me. I'd probably like pop a bottle of champagne just because of that. But now we do some amazing things here at WhitPR. We don't really share it out, and I don't really share it out because I'm just like, okay, what's the next thing? Like, and I think as entrepreneurs, you need to just sometimes sit and reflect on like everything you've been able to accomplish, no matter how hard the road has been, or even when you're in the thick of it, right? So like I'm in the thick of it right now. And like, I'm still being optimistic and faithful and finding those windows of opportunity to like really celebrate some dope shit that we've been able to do versus like focusing on like, oh my God, this is my long to-do list to work towards my dream of this business that I've created.